All right, y'all, we're back.
We're back.
Josh went to go get some food, but then he's going to come right back. Now we're here with David's list. Let's talk about your list. How did you come about this list, and what are the contents?
So, I have disappointments. Pretty much, I like to, we'll see some disappointments.
Recording?
Yes, we are recording.
I'm so sorry.
Don't
make it too long.
It'll probably be long.
What was it? Damn it! You got me on my thought. So, anyway, I have some disappointments, and I'll probably name those first.
Yeah.
I think disappointing shouldn't be talked about in the middle. That's just weird. And then kind of some albums that I listened to that were kind of like, they were good, but I just didn't give them enough listen to really put them anywhere.
To appreciate them.
Right. And then some of them that we get closer towards the top 10. And then I have a top 10. Like an actual, to name and talk about more of. So first one, Josh mentioned Hed P, Detox.
Now, is this a disappointment?
Yeah. So I'm starting with pretty much the ones that were like, yeah, this is not good.
I've never heard a lot of Hed P.
I went through a kick, with Hed P, when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Right, with their first 3, 4
That's when
albums.
I
They've been out forever.
Yeah.
But I went through a kick for them actually, and I've done it a couple times. I would listen. That's all I listened to was just new metal, and then Hed P's part of that. So I got into their Americans. Oh man, I don't remember half their albums. They have a lot, but I haven't listened to all of their albums. But this one caught me. I was like, oh shit, because I haven't heard it. I didn't think Hed P were even still together. So I was like, all right, cool. So I gave it a listen. It's exactly what I expect. See, with Hed P for me is they're a hit and miss kind of band. They have a lot of really fucking good songs. Then they have a lot of really okay songs, and then they have a shit ton of bad songs. Because there's so many songs, but they have some awful songs, right? And this album is not to say the most. It's not the best, but it's fun. At the same time, it sucks. It's just not good recorded wise. The dude's rapping is about the same. It's not any better. They don't do anything new with it. So it was a disappointment a little bit for me, who I've been, like I said, I'm a somewhat fan of them. Moving on. Avatar. Dance Devil Dance. What the fuck, man? It was just a boring rock album that they did with the dude's vocals. He didn't do nothing really heavy. It wasn't. There was no story to it. It felt boring. It was just. It was just okay rock album. Avatar should not be in a rock band for one. They're metal. They need to stay that. What they didn't do prior.
It was
to
still
this
metal. It was just very generic.
It wasn't good. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't. Didn't do anything for me at all. I listened to it one time and was like, what? I was so sad because the stuff they put out, with the King and Country.
Avatar Country.
Country, yeah, and then the Eagle.
Feathers and Flesh.
Oh, man, missed that. I want that album again. And then their second.
Even Hail to the Apocalypse is really good.
Yeah. So, I that I didn't get any of that, though. I didn't get none of that. So, that's out there. OTEP. Godslayer. Not disappointing. I said, better than Cult 45, but still garbage. Hot garbage.
Hey, we'll wait till my list.
So, OTEP released some covers. They're okay. But
yeah, it's half
some
covers, half originals.
Right, and the originals are good, actually. I would say that. The originals, I liked them. They weren't overly the top political like her last album. They remind me of her first couple albums a lot. And the covers ruined it. It's garbage. She fucked up most of those covers.
What was the Eminem one? I Am Whatever You Say I Am.
Yeah. Come on.
There was a Billie Eilish song.
Yeah, she fucked up all the covers, I think. I don't think none of them were really bad, but they weren't really good at all. It was just she wanted to do them. Yay. fucking, it was,
I almost thought it was going to be a full covers album.
yeah. Which thank God it wasn't. That would have been
Yeah,
even
thank
worse.
God it wasn't. 'Cause I'm not the biggest fan of cover albums. To me, they're normally one and dones. That might be Stas's mom.
No. But yeah, it's still hot garbage.
I don't know. Stas's mom is in there drunk as fuck whistling. So if y'all hear that, that's what's going on.
Alright, next. Baby metal.
That hurt. That hurt, man.
Right? It was just okay. It wasn't
That hurt so bad.
It was like, I guess a lot of bands who kind of like, they hit a peak, and then, I mean, this one, they kind of just fell off a little bit. They're going the wrong direction. They're popular now, so they're writing it's a popular metal album, but it doesn't do anything exciting. It's not baby metal. It's just another band, another proggy kind of.
Sounds like any other J-rock or
Right,
J-metal
I mean,
band at
it's-
this point.
They're bland now. I mean, just this album. Now they could come back. You know, I have hope for the next album, right? Because maybe they'll see that this was the mistake. I mean, I wanted like the Karate, like shit, like what was the one with all the fucking people on the last one, right? Where with all the fucking different artists on there that you had from like Sabaton.
I have
Sabaton.
no clue.
Sabaton with fucking In Flames dude, or no, who the fuck was it? I don't know.
And the one you thought was the Skindred guy.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on, like, where are those? We didn't get any fucking like. There's always someone on your albums and nothing. We got nothing. So very disappointing. I listened to it one time, or twice. I listened to it twice because I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. But the second time, it just didn't do anything. Haven't heard it since. I don't go back to it at all. All right, now you might hate me because I'm pretty sure it's a lot higher on your list. It's disappointing in a way, but it's not totally disappointing. Okay, Poppy, Zig. Okay, it was good, but it was a little disappointing from what I wanted from her music. I'm not a huge fan of Poppy's poppy stuff, like pop stuff, like her YouTube shit and all that. And I liked her getting into the more metal side of things. I think that was more a good direction, especially because she just released a single with Onan that's fucking phenomenal and badass for her. So that's what I wanted. I wanted that song, but through an album, right? Because I like her metal stuff. I like Zig. It's interesting. She does do a lot of experimental stuff and weird, but again, it was disappointing from what I wanted.
I feel you.
So yeah. All right. So now we're kind of all right. Disappointments aren't really. That was it for really. You know, what I really felt should have been explained about the disappointments. It was terrible. Moving on. So yeah. So now we're getting into ones I liked. But all right. So Three Teeth. Right. We talked about it with Josh. I like the album. It's fucking excellent album. It's heavy as fuck. Right. But I didn't listen to it enough to do it much with it.
Yeah.
You know, I gave it a listen. I thought it was fucking heavy, and then I got caught up in some other stuff, just haven't gone back to it. It wasn't enough to grab me in and keep me there, right? And a lot of bands do keep me there, but I just haven't, you know, Three Teeth, that album, it's good. It's fantastic. You want something heavy, right, at that time. But,
It's like I told you earlier. I was like, you know, I have to fit certain bands in with whatever I'm feeling in that moment. So if I'm in a certain genre mood, and then I throw something else in there, I'm not gonna give it enough attention that it deserves.
right. So
I feel you on that. I totally get that.
all right. Another band that I listen to, you won't know them. They're called Acres. They had a new album called Burning Throne. It's good it's a generic kind of metal, rock metal. Like, it's not It's not on the radio to my knowledge, I've never heard it there, but it's it just sounds like kind of like that, but it's a good version of it, right? Like you hear generic bands that just have like that same setup where they're like genty a little bit and they sing and then they scream and then they do maybe some hip hop kind of sounds to it. That's what's going. That's the big thing now, right? It's a good version of that. Okay, it's not the worst of the bunch or anything, but it's. I mean, they're not like Pat. They don't do anything other than just to kind of. But again, so. All right. So last year, I've been getting into some country music now, some folk music. I really kind of dove into it like hard. You know, I've really tried to find a new thing to kind of grab towards and mix in with my style of things, right? The things there are. I mean, I'm not listening to all country because I think a lot of country is terrible.
A lot of
and generic, but there are certain things, certain people that I've got. So I say this because I don't talk about country music a lot, but I've been getting into it more often lately. So an artist named Bailey Zimmerman. All right, he's a country singer. It's like a folky old school, like not old school as in like ancient folky times of country music, but like for me like old school like 90s, 80s kind of, not 80s, 90s, more 90s, right, kind of country music. But it has a folky twist to it. Like there's some banjos and stuff.
You said Bailey Zimmerman?
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out.
You know, it's a good. Like I said, there are some. He's not over the top country. Like you know, there's no big ballad, but he has a good voice. I mean, it's country music, but it's just something like that that attracts to me. Like I was like, okay, I like. It's easy on the ears.
Yeah, it's like what I tell people. I'm like, there is great country music, but it's not on the radio.
Right, and like this is just a dude I found on YouTube. You know, or no, it showed up on my Amazon. And then I looked him up.
Like even that guy that blew up that song, that Richmond, North of Richmond, great song. Don't know the rest of that guy's stuff.
He's got a lot of good stuff.
I'm sure because like I was like that song is pretty motherfucking smart. But yeah, there's a lot of great folk and country music out there, but it is not on the radio.
Yeah.
At all.
So if you're in a country mood and you don't listen to country, he's pretty. Like I said, it's a easy listening kind of thing. It's good country music though.
Bailey's around.
So I got a couple. I got an EP here and there. All right, Baby, Baybe. All right, she released 3 songs. I wish for a full album. That was the one I showed you where she was talking about a cannibal, like eating up a dude. Hey, she's like come into my house, you know, like she's on a date with him, and then she's like, "I'll have your face for dinner" or something like that. And I don't know the lyrics, but I'll have to show you to you again. But she's pretty like cool. She's got one where she's like praying to Jesus and something like that. It's like a nasty kind of part of the song. It's heavy too, and I was like, okay, this is fucking cool. And I can't remember the third song, but it's a decent EP, right? And it's only her first few songs. Like she doesn't have an album yet, and I really want one because I think it'd be pretty cool to listen to.
Babey.
Baybe.
Okay, Baby.
Yeah,
okay.
Baby, like that.
Maybe.
Right, but I'll have to show you once we're done here because she's fucking badass. All right, so Buried Alive. This dude, it's called Buried Treasure. It's a fantastic album. I didn't listen to it enough though, so I didn't get up there. But he's one of my favorite guitarists right now. He does YouTube stuff. He's mostly, I think he does the YouTube stuff first, or he did. But all his albums, like a lot of their songs, he has, I think, is based around peanut butter and jelly. And shit like his first album, or his first 2 albums that he released, I can't remember which one, but they had like each name was something that was just kind of with a berry or a strawberry or something like that. And his guitar is fucking sick. It's like he's got like a fucking stop button that he uses, and then he just does like hip hop shit on his fucking guitar.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he fucking slaps.
There's a lot of fucking innovation, man.
Yeah. So he's like I said, he's one of my favorites. Guitarist right now, especially because the speed he does this shit. Like all the sounds you hear in it is his guitar. Other than the drum, I mean, he does the drums. Drums are probably recorded, because I don't think he plays drums. I don't know though.
So they could be like programmed.
Yeah,
drums.
I think he does program drums mostly, but
Nothing wrong with that.
the guitar, and he sings. Like he's also, it's not just instrumentals. Like he does a lot of instrumentals, but he also has like sings into it and screaming. And I was like, the dude's sick, right? I don't know his real name, but I've been following him for a few years now.
Yeah, look that up too.
I'll show you. All right. So another band that's some heavy ass fucking album, right? It's just fucking good heavy metal, right? There's nothing over the top. It's like definitely not disappointing. Like I hear it and I'm like, this is fucking badass. It's called Bury Tomorrow. All right. The album is The Seventh Son. All right. It's just a fucking just rip your face, like fucking just good metal, right? And I'm just like, fuck yeah. So it screams and shit like that. Like it has a lot of deathcore, but there's a different way of how they do certain things, kind of like Lorna Shore does.
Which is another band I need to do a little dive in on too.
Yeah, I don't think they have more than one album. I think they only have the one album though.
Lorna Shore?
Yeah,
I thought they had a few.
I think Pain's the only album they have. I think that was like they have like EPs and shit, but I think that was the first album. Because they got huge because they heard this, like, one of the fucking vocals of that, of Will, just, where he just breathes it in, and people are like, sounds like a fucking demon. But yeah, him and that, what's the Russian band? Slaughter.
To Prevail?
Yeah, Slaughter to Prevail. I love them. That dude's a fucking beast. Anyway, so yeah, they're good. So Bush came out with a new album.
I haven't heard it. I haven't
like
heard
it.
the last one. You like it?
I
Yeah.
like it.
Right
It's a fantastic album.
Right
If you're a Bush fan, you'll like it. Gavin it's like, it feels like their old school stuff, their grunge
Alright.
stuff. They do a song with Amy Lee.
Right on.
So it's kind of like, it's a very atmospheric song with her, which it turned out really good. But yeah, it's a fucking great album, but right, it's like, but I'm not a huge Bush fan. Like, I like Bush.
Yeah,
and
I've only
certain
got
things.
a few Bush albums, man.
But I didn't give it enough. Like, I gave it so it just has that good feeling. Like it is a Bush album, right?
it just brings you that nostalgia from back
So
in the
that's
day.
probably what it really is. But so all right, another fucking band that is great. Chelsea Grin released a new album.
That's another band I've heard of,
Man, they're
but
fucking
never checked out.
They're so heavy. It's like brutal deathcore, right? It's just fucking like you want to punch her. Like, so what I wrote here was, in a mood for punching a brick wall, then listen to Chelsea Grin. like you just fucking pound it. Like man, they fucking rock. But yeah, they're up there. All right, so this is another EP. I think I told you about her. I just told Josh. Cinnamon Babe.
Oh, Cinnamon Babe is the shit.
I love Cinnamon Babe. So she released an EP, Fatherless, right? It's like just a fantastic fucking, like, she doesn't have an album yet. This is her first EP.
Testing the waters.
Right, I can't wait to hear more though. Like, she's fucking badass.
There's cool shit. There's so much cool shit happening right now
Right.
that is either about to blow up or about to go nowhere.
So let's hope. I hope for the better, right? I mean, she reminds me of what's that band with the twins? The
Nova Twins.
the Nova Twins. Oh,
Does
man.
have a lot of Nova Twin vibes.
Yeah, I like the Nova Twins.
I was
too.
so glad they reissued their first album. They got like 3 EPs that I still need to get, but those are stupid expensive on Discogs. But yeah, Nova Twins. I got a signed art card from them ladies right here. Recommend it.
That's cool. I didn't know you got that. All right. So there's a rapper that he got big. Connor Price, right? He got big through TikTok, right? He does.
You know, Tom McDonald, Connor Fry, rapper names have just given up.
Right? They ain't no little anymore. So here's what's funny. All right. So Connor Price, right? Released.
Is he a white guy?
Yeah.
That is such a white ass name.
Right? Connor. He's been in like shows and movies and shit.
Has he really?
He's been an actor for like most of his child life.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I just
What
found
has he
that,
been in?
I'm trying to remember. He's been in some things. Hold on. because he was in something recently, or well, not recently, but like the last 10 years ago. So he played a kid in some movie. I was like, oh, I know that movie. I was like, shit, that was him. Like, I've seen him in some things. And then once he said it, I was like, I looked it up and I was like, oh shit, I have seen him before. But anyway, we can talk about that later. So Connor Price, he does rap though, right?
Yeah.
Now he, like I say, used to act, but started doing rap music. The dude's good. Like, he's a good lyricist. I like his beats. I like how I think it's funny how he got big on TikTok. What he was doing basically was skits, but it kind of worked out. So he'd come in and he's like talking to his producer, which is him, right? He'll switch back to a version of him, and he's like starts like giving me a little like thing or whatever, and starts playing it, and he's doing stuff. He'll do little skits with it, right? It's like his brother, which is him, shows up with and he starts playing a xylophone or something like that, right? And it switches over, and they start a beat, and he starts rapping to it. So it's really cool how he got big because of that, though, right? But then he released an album. I love the album. Like I said, so what he does is he spins the globe, and wherever his finger lands, he finds a rapper within that area and collabs with him.
That's cool.
Right. So he had people from Spain, I think, one person from Spain, another person from like Europe, another person's Japan. It was kind of, it's a cool album, different rap styles. That's another thing. I like it because each song changes up a different style, and he does it really well. So it was one of my favorite rap albums, but of the year for that. So, but if you're new rap, Connor Price. If you don't know who he is, then you know. So, all right. So Corey Taylor released a new album.
Yeah, I haven't heard it.
It is not garbage.
I haven't heard it.
It was surprisingly good for a rock album, and it wasn't like a Stone Sour.
Yeah, it was. Corey Taylor solo stuff is like Corey Taylor solo stuff.
It's different though. Like, I like how
it don't suck.
It doesn't. It's a decent album. It doesn't sound. It sounds less like Stone Sour, which is good, right? Because his first album, it had moments where it was like okay, but this album though, it was just a good, happy, a good kind of good feeling album. Right, it had good songs. It hit the right notes, spots, and stuff, and I enjoyed listening to it. I don't
just
go back
a guy
to it all the
getting
time.
old and rocking out.
Yeah, and he's doing what Corey Taylor. Look, I love all the memes. I think it's funny that they're just like,
what does Corey Taylor think about this?
right? And but Corey Taylor is just an interesting guy. He works hard for what he does, I think.
Yeah.
All right, Crosses. Yeah.
Damn it! I had that pre-ordered, but for some reason I canceled it for some reason. But I've been meaning to go back and check that out because I love Chino.
Yeah. So good night, God bless, I love you. Delete.
So is it good?
It's good. It's Chino. If you don't know Chino, he's from the Deftones. Everyone knows the Deftones. If you don't know the Deftones, why are you watching this video?
Get on it.
Get on it. So I like Chino how he does it because we have some people who do like side things and it sounds just like their regular things.
Yeah.
Chino's band Crosses, right, separates him from that. He goes more atmospheric with this. He doesn't he's already atmospheric but he does Chino does his screams and Deftones, his kind of float but more heavy noted terms. Then Crosses is more just kind of like a good flow of his voice, right? It's very echoey, it's very delay in the background. It's not super heavy. It's like it just flow. Like flow is the best way to describe the album, or the sound of Crosses. I've been a fan for a few years. I always love checking out my favorite bands, other bands.
Yeah.
I like to see what are you doing outside of what is that, And we know that with like Korn and their side, all their guys' side projects. Fieldy's one, and Brian and Jonathan Davis. Jonathan Davis terrible, but yeah. So I like that. Cross is probably one of the better of when the singer kind of says, "Okay, I'm gonna do something different." It is different. It is You get the Chino's the only thing that sounds Deftones in that band. In Crosses. That's the thing I like about it. Right. And that's only because the man has no one else sounds like Chino. Right?
Yeah.
There's not another artist out there that has released music that sounds like Chino. There are people who've done Chester Bennington from Linkin Park, people who can do similar things like Jonathan Davis, people who do Corey Taylor. I mean, I've heard another guy scream just like Corey Taylor's thing. But no one sounds like fucking Chino.
Man.
Yeah, so anyway, so it's just a good blend. Like it kind of just a good flow. It's a monotone, but not a monotone of an album, right? And I think that's why I didn't make it any higher, is because it does kind of here. It stays here.
Things do they kind of bleed together? The songs,
No, it doesn't
or?
bleed. Like you can hear differences, right? But they all have a similar feel to them. So they all kind of like just level out. It's not a bad thing, but it's not like we're talking emergency, like you're in the fucking flatline. But it is just a straight, narrow kind of sound each song takes. And it's a good album. It's good to listen to once while you're kind of like, okay, I just want to hear something to chilling with, right?
Yeah.
And then you can kind of hear it in the background because it still would be a good album just to kind of catch, because you'll catch things. But they just kind of stay away from doing anything much more than what they do. Like, there's no, like, little things that you kind of remember from it after listening to it. But it's a good listen. You understand where I'm coming?
So it's one of them albums that you've... This is how I always explain it. It's one of them albums that I always forget how much I like it until I turn it on.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much... That's great, yeah.
Like Marilyn Manson, Golden Age, and Grotesque is one of those.
Like, you just, like, I don't remember her so much, and then you guys are like, man, this is so good.
You turn it back on, and it's like, oh, man, this shit was awesome.
Right? Yeah, so it's like that. That's the exact way to describe it. Yeah, so check it out, Crosses, though. They have another album prior to this, I think.
I think they do. There's like, I think there's an album and then an EP, something or another like that.
They have a full album before this one.
Yeah,
so
like a full album and then an EP, something like that.
But it's good. I mean, their other album was good too. It was the same thing. It was that same feeling. Like, you listen to it, you're like, damn, this is so good. And then you don't go back to it. But once you do go back to it, you're like, damn, this is so good.
Yeah.
I don't choose to go back to it, but yeah. So anyway, okay, so Crown the Empire. I don't know, you ever heard of them?
No.
They have an album called Dogma. It's a good metal album, but it's slightly generic sounding, like many bands out there. That's what kind of threw me off. I like to listen to it when I hear it, but I'm not going to go jump to it. But it's not a bad album. Cult of Luna released a new album, or dual album.
Do I know that? That's familiar.
Yeah. Trying to remember, it's not Cult of the Sun, but no, Cult of Luna. I think we talked about it last year or 2 years ago or something. Their last stuff.
Probably.
They have an 18-minute song. It's fucking. The whole album's long though. Like, it's like 13 songs within, and like a few of them are like one's 11.
Awesome.
Another one, like, they're not like little short songs. It's a fucking long album.
What kind of shit would you describe this music as?
Doom metal.
Okay.
Like,
right
it's
on.
good doom metal, right?
Awesome.
If you're in the mood for doom metal, that's what it is.
I need to check them out.
But I mean, it's fucking just like, it's kind of like what's that? What's good doom metal? it's deep, like real, just it's doomy. Yeah. It's doom metal. Right? Yeah, it's long notes, right? A big, like, like a thing in the background where you're like,
it's like some sleep, it's like some electric wizard.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, lately I've been getting into some doom metal.
I love some doom, man. I love some stoner, I love some doom. But nowadays I kind of got to, I kind of got to get in the mood for it nowadays. Right. Like, a lot of them are starting to sound the same, you know, and...
But yeah, Cult of Luna.
I'm ready for somebody to do something different with it, and I haven't necessarily found that yet.
Yeah, check out Cult of Luna though. They're pretty badass. Devil Driver released another album.
Oh yeah, I still got jumped into that.
Dez is fucking just like, it is so much different from Cold Chain.
Yeah, I listened to some of it and I was like, well, this is so far away from the new metal stuff.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, it's fucking heavy.
I mean, I remember when they did that one album. It was like a country song cover album, and then
Yeah.
Hank 3 featured on there with his song "Country Heroes." I was like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. Devil Driver's been like one of my favorite bands like since Dead Scott toured in like 2002.
Yeah, whenever
like
fuck-
2003, 2002, somewhere in
Yeah.
there. When The Mountain fucking was released. Another, oh my god, just, oh, that album is great. I mean, Devil Driver doesn't really have a bad album. Like, if you like hit like Dez as a screamer and stuff like that, and then just fast-paced fucking heavy metal, like Lamb of God sets up the same way, and there's a few other bands. But yeah, I mean, Devil Driver's fucking sick. So their new album's pretty badass. It's up there in my like top 20. I mean, that's what this is. So basically, it's up there though.
What number are we on?
I didn't put it in.
All right, let's smoke a cigarette real quick. I'm gonna go smoke a cig. All right, y'all, we are back with David. Josh just came back. Josh ate some dinner. So here we are. I just needed a cigarette. And here we go. Boom, back on David.
All right. Good timing, Josh. Dope. We talked about it in Josh's Blood Money Part 0. I love this album. It's exactly what I want from a Dope album. So, I mean, I like most of Dope's stuff, but I've been a fan since, I don't know, Dope. That was his first one, right? Wasn't it? Or second? No. Which
Well,
one was
the
Dope?
first one was
guys have my knowledge of it.
something in Felons or
Okay.
something like that.
Right, yeah.
Huh? The first Dope album, something in Felons.
But I got him to when was the Dope album? Like just when?
You know, I don't know if they just had a self-titled. I don't think there is a
I thought it was. It
self-titled.
was black with the name Dope on it. That's all it was. It
Well,
was
that would probably be Life
oh,
or
maybe.
Felons and is it Felons and Revelations or something like that?
Uh.
Got it over here in the D's. No, that's E. A B C. Here is Dope. Well, why isn't that? So yeah, first album.
Yeah, it was Felons. and
one that just
Revelations.
says Dope.
Or that one.
Yeah, Felons and Revolutions.
Yeah, that's the one. That's where I was that. But I mean, that
Everyone
was the
knows
first,
that one because it
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that was the first
fuck the
album,
poses on that one.
right?
Yeah.
Spin your regular.
Straight out of the. Yeah, no. So I've been a fan for Dope since my teens, right? And this album was exactly what I wanted. Didn't do anything else though.
Those first two Dope albums had heavy Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie vibes.
Right, the Rob Zombie definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Him and I always thought like they
The
kind
groovy
of
metal with the tambourines and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the Dope albums, it's dope. It's fucking good. But again, a top 10, no, it didn't make it because it doesn't do anything more than just dope.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah,
I like
feel
to
you
find stuff that's kind of like, things
It
that are
doesn't
gonna
go
make it-
above and beyond.
Right.
It just gives you exactly what you want.
Previous
Right.
one was
Yeah, it's one of those where I say it's same shit, different album, but it's the same shit, different album that I am happy with.
Right.
yeah, that's why I said. That's why I said it feels like it just left off songs from the
Yeah,
Blood
it's-
Money Part
Every
One.
one of their albums. Are
And,
like
and
that.
then the thing is too, is if it was leftover songs from Blood Money 1, it would have come out much sooner.
Yeah, I honestly think
that was
the
a
last
long
time-
wait. That was a long wait for Year Zero.
I honestly think the last time that Dope
He
did
was
anything-
doing Static X in between.
that is true.
that Dope didn't do anything actually different or new with this music. Last time was his 2006 album with
Was that Apathy?
American
American Apathy.
American Apathy.
That I have the.
He did stuff that he didn't do on previous or even now albums. I think that one because he was a little bit more political in that one than he has been. But it's definitely you got a different vibe from that album I think compared to his other albums. And I think
when
that was
the
the last time.
sound goes boom.
Right, exactly,
What you
right.
gonna do?
I love that shit though. That was a cheesy fucking song.
There'd be cheesy shit, but it's awesome.
Right.
Cheesy
So
shit.
I mean, and that album though, that's one of my favorite albums though by Dope because I think that was the
it
last time he
rocks
did.
all the way
yeah.
through.
But yeah, so there's that. All right. So next one, Earthside. All right.
Wow, yeah, dude, I was so not into that.
Really?
Yeah, I like it, But it was just kind of boring to me.
I mean, I like
But
said,
also, like I said, curveball. I was listening to different things. My musical journey was in a different spot. I threw that in, and it was more like throwing a wrench in the gears. And maybe if when I get into a more prog vibe,
right? It's a fantastic prog album.
yeah, because I mean it didn't suck. I just had a hard time getting into it.
Right. I mean, like you said though, it's just whatever in the moment. That's
But I will say I did get. You could call this lucky. You could also call this shitty. All right. So I ordered it off of Amazon and it came with the auto rip. So there's like 10 songs. Apparently the first run of CDs is a misprint where that 10th song is missing from the actual CD.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's a fuck up, and my disc over here is missing
So you got a good one just because.
yeah, missing a track. But thankfully, Amazon had the auto rip, so I have the full album. But the physical version I have is missing a song.
And any collector loved that shit.
Yeah, I like misprints. Misprints are cool.
All right. But yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic prog metal album. But I liked it. Let's see. So this one actually, I should have had more in disappointments. Now that I think about it. So I don't know if you remember, but Josh does probably. Element 80 released a new album.
Whoa!
Okay.
I saw them guys live in 2003
Yep.
So
Yeah.
with Seven Dust and
Yeah.
Il Nino.
yeah, so Element
And
80,
they rocked. That's all I remember about it was I enjoyed their set.
right. So I put it here. Like I said, it should have been more disappointed. So it's good, but unfortunately, it's forgettable.
Yeah.
There's nothing that stands out for the album, and if you've heard you've heard every song, right? I mean, you've heard one song, all sounds like Element 80 did back in.
And see, I don't even remember what they sounded
Right,
like.
so they weren't.
But
huge
it was a
band.
new metal. It was a new metal extravaganza. So I'm pretty sure.
So this is their first album in like 20 years, right? Like
Wow.
they technically released like a redo of their first album.
Yeah, I
on
hate
themselves.
it when artists do remakes of their own
It is
songs.
awful. I hated it so much, but I don't count that.
Except
'cause
for
it was-
Dog Fashion Disco, like their re-recorded albums are great.
Yeah, but this one was not. But yeah, so anyway, this one was okay. I mean, it wasn't. It didn't do anything new, right? I'm figured like 20 years, bro. You've had that time to make it up. It still sucked. I mean, it still wasn't
Yeah.
as good as it wanted. So it should have been more disappointing. Anyway, Fear Factory. It sounds like Fear Factory.
They sound like Fear Factory?
No. Fear Factory.
Wait a minute.
They
Wait a
released
minute.
new-
You're talking about
It was-
the Industrialist?
The band Fear Factory.
Fear Factory.
Right.
The Industrialist.
Reindustrialized.
Yeah, that is actually a new
Release.
version.
I hate that
of-
because they do that a lot. They fucking.
Yeah, I think that's a re-release of.
I thought it was a re-record, like what? Just
Yeah,
with
a
him as vocals.
re-record. No, no, it's still got Burton C. Bell. It's just a new version of the album with live drums. Where the original it was programmed drums, but this one it was a new version that was re-recorded.
I don't
to
do
have live
research,
drums.
so
I love-
it was released last year. I listened to it. I've never heard it.
Yeah, I love
So-
Fear Factory. I'm waiting to hear what this new guy sounds like.
Apparently, it sounds just like.
That's what they say. I'm cool with it. There was
Alright.
just Burton C. Bell has the male vocals that kick ass to me. The real deep, low, melodic, and then really good scream vocals. Love Fear Factory.
Foo Fighters. So we talked about them, Josh's.
I gotta.
It's a good rock album. I didn't give it enough listen. I've listened to it a couple times, but it's a Foo Fighter album. I mean, it's upbeat. It's just good to hear. Like I said earlier,
You got the best.
the best of you. Yeah, but it was just like, yeah. I mean, I'm a Foo Fighter fan,
One
but
of
I mean,
these days is not like the other.
Grohl like just always he hits the right spot in in my soul. I think it's certain things.
Yeah.
Right, he's a good dude. He writes some good music.
Yo ass got a ring pop.
I know, right?
This motherfucker
Like awesomely.
got a fucking ring pop over here. I heard him over here like smacking this shit. I'm listening to you, but I'm hearing like, I'm like, oh, look over here. That man got a motherfucking ring pop.
The bling pop.
Oh shit.
But yeah, so Foo Fighters is great, but didn't listen enough. So next one's a good album, but also a disappointment. Haken.
Yeah.
So it's better than Vector and Virus. It's still a really good prog album.
Yeah.
It is not what I want from Haken at all.
Yeah.
Though I don't. I know a lot of bands like to progress, but they're not really progressing anywhere. They kind of hit like this plateau of how they'll throw in a couple of their older style stuff, just for like people.
They just
going,
haven't
"Oh, cool."
impressed me since Affinity.
Right. I mean, so I'm gonna keep listening, and I'm still a fan. I was happy with the album when I listened to it, but I never went back to it.
Yeah. I have not gone back to it, especially when that album come
Not
out.
because it's bad. It's just I didn't care. Like it was like okay.
When that album came out, and I texted you. I was like, "Dude, we need to do a Haken retro," and you were like, "Yeah." And then I started listening to all the Haken, and I got up to Affinity, and I was like, I don't want to listen to the rest of these.
Because they're not Affinity. Affinity was fantastic. The Mountain is
The Mountain.
fucking masterpiece.
Was it Visions? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Aquarius. Those
Like,
first 4 albums are top shelf prog metal, man.
But they've kind of, like I said, they hit a plateau, and I'm like, what? Like they'll throw in like 1 or 2 songs here that, like in Fauna, there's like what is the elephant or.
The Elephant Always Remembers or
Right,
something.
yeah. So that one's like a kind of a throwback because it brings in a lot of their stuff that do 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 like they do their weird shit do 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 like shit like that. That's I love about it. But
that was the first time on that album where I smiled and I was like, all right.
Right. So I mean, I would say if you want to listen to or find out Haken, they're a phenomenal band. At least their first 4 albums. After that, they're good, but it's nothing to like be
It's just
excited
lacking.
about.
It's just lacking.
So I keep hope though, because maybe they'll surprise me again and just be like, here.
Because that happened with Between the Buried and Me for after Coma Ecliptic, another phenomenal prog metal album. They dropped Automata 1 and 2, and those were just fine. And I was like, damn, man. It was like the first time I was kind of like disappointed with them after I started getting into them. And then I was like, they're probably just going to do this now. But then they dropped Colors 2, and it was like the most phenomenal prog metal I'd heard in a long time. I was like, oh my God. So hopefully this happens with Haken.
Yeah. All right. There's a Japanese band called Hanabi.
Yeah, you showed me them. I haven't.
Fucking new metal Japanese.
Yeah,
man.
it was
Japanese
cool
nu
shit.
metal.
It was pretty cool shit.
Like so, it's called Reborn Superstar. It's like just new metal, fucking baby metal. It's baby metal if they were new metal. Like and they're better than baby metal now for me. Just because they released a better album than baby metal. It's enjoyable, it's fun, just like Baby Metal's first couple albums were like just enjoyable to listen to and fun, right? They're cheesy, goofy at the same time, and they were Japanese, so who didn't understand it, but they gave you a visual, right? And Hanabi's album gives you a visual, right? And they have a couple. I mean, the videos that they do have are pretty good. They're just kind of like they do the Japanese cheese kind of to their video, and then they just fucking break it down. Like they're like they do their dance shit, and like the main chick's a screamer, and she fucking just howls into it. I was like, fuck yeah. So I definitely recommend them. So have you heard of Hardy?
No.
So Hardy is a first album, he's a country metal.
I know Hardy's and Hardy. or no, Matt Hardy.
Right. So
Hardy Boys.
Spelled the same like the Hardy Boys, but just Hardy. Right. So
You said country and metal.
country and metal. So it sounds like if Kid Rock
Is
was good.
this the guy? I think a buddy at work told me to check him out, and I thought that it just sounded like radio country with distortion.
reminds me of better Kid Rock.
Sounded like I might be wrong, but whatever my buddy told me to check out, it sounded like radio country with distortion.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
But
He has a Kid Rock vibe to him.
yeah,
But he does country music, but like I said, he does like
sounded like Kid Rock before he went country. That Devil Without
Right,
Cause
so-
is the only good thing the man ever did.
so. But he doesn't rap in his stuff. But I mean, I don't know. You'd have to. I'd say give it a listen. Just
Yeah,
to
I'm
find
gonna have to
it,
see
but
if that's the same guy my buddy at
Yeah.
work showed me, because I was
I
like,
liked it. The album I listened to a couple times.
I was like, he's just saying the same shit other country stars are saying, but with distortion. So I don't know if this is who David is talking about, but
All right. So I don't know if this was their new album, but I liked it. Health released Rat Wars.
oh yeah. Rat Wars is great.
It was. I was about to say. I was like industrial metal because it feels like a lot of industrial metal bands like to release shit that I don't know about because I don't keep up with this stuff.
Health. My only problem with Health is their vocals throw it off for me because their vocals are so soft.
I like it.
But
I
I
think
think,
it's
their vocals are so chill, while the music is aggressive. But sometimes
I thought it worked.
For
So, I
me,
mean, that's what I like about it.
the music isn't aggressive enough. But Rat Wars, the music is more aggressive, but the vocals are still chill. So I like Rat Wars the best, but I like the disco albums that they recently released better with the collaborations, because you had Poppy, you had Nine Inch Nails on a track. So to me, the collaborations are more fun. Horror was on a track, but that's a pretty good album though.
Yeah, I like it. So another band that's kind of up and coming is called Hot Milk.
Never heard of them.
So the album's called A Call to the Void. They have like a Paramore-esque kind of feel, except for if Paramore...
Old or new Paramore?
Old Paramore. But it's not as pop-punky as Paramore is, and it's heavy, right? So they do a lot of... They do a lot of different things within each song, right? So that's one thing I like about it, because it doesn't have a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not prog or anything like that. So it's more of a new metal, like I said, a Paramore and new metal kind of thing, right? And it's good. I don't really know how else to really describe it though. It reminds me of Paramore a little bit, but there is a heavy, like, new metal feel to it as well. But they're called Hot Milk. I'll show you a song if you want.
True.
But I like how they do some vocal things. They do have, like I said, it's not like super heavy, but it is like how they do their vocals and stuff. I kind of dig. Alright, a band called Our House. Hour, as in like the time. It's a heavy rap metal album, right? It's fun to listen to. It kind of reminds me of horror a little bit. Maybe not. I mean, it won't be as exact because that's one thing about horror that I like too, is that they're a little bit different from everyone else. But it reminds me of someone.
But horror is like
that styling.
the best shit I've heard in hip hop in a long time.
Right. But yeah, it gives me that kind of vibe. In Flames released a new album. It's good. It's an In Flames album.
Could never get into it.
But I didn't go back to it enough to really, I like In Flames. I've been a fan for a while, but like the last album's kind of like, it was In Flames doing In Flames, and I was like, I want more. Like I didn't want it at that time. Another heavy rap album, it's called Josiah. He has a good flow. He screams. It's real heavy bass. Kind of horrorcore emo rap style. Like emo as in like how, like the emo rap that was kind of that style, but with like a horrorcore kind of feel to it. It's good to listen to though. I liked it. I can't really describe because rap is hard to describe for me. I don't know. Here's one that you would probably dig. I think I showed it to you. Kiki Rockwell. Or I sent you a...
I think you did.
So Rituals on the Bank of a Familiar River. She had best described as world folk alternative indie. Like, it's...
Kiki Rockwell.
Yeah, Kiki is Kiki.
And I think
It's fantastic. Like it's like world music mixed in with like this kind of like Viking vibe mixed in with like a witchcraft kind of thing. I mean, it's ambient and dark and just. I mean, it's really it's good. It's really she has a beautiful voice. But I mean, it's really just good as an album. But Rituals of the Bank of a Familiar River. Even sounds folky. Shit. But yeah, it's a fantastic album. Check her out. Definitely. Let's see. Till Lindemann. His solo stuff. So.
Zunj. Or
Zunj.
Tongue in English.
So I noted was half the album is Rammstein. Not saying that Rammstein played, but it sounds like Rammstein. And then once you get like
As
song,
it would.
at song 5 or song 6, I can't remember. It starts getting more experimenting, and he starts doing
Like
less
that's like
things.
a flamenco, almost like a Spanish vibe track.
Right? Yeah, I
in
mean,
the
there's
music.
that. He kind of does things that are a little bit different than outside the box of Rammstein.
You gotta love that hidden track that is so Euro dance, like it should be on Eurovision.
But yeah, no. So I enjoyed that album. I listened to it a few times, and then I haven't listened to it since, but it was like 3 or 4
I
times.
listened to it today, this
there you
morning.
go.
Yeah.
You have a more broad, like, no, what it is. But yeah, I liked it. Like I said, about halfway through the first half of it, if you want to listen to Rammstein, it's great. If you don't, then just skip to the first album. But they're still good songs, though. I just wanted Till doing. I wish the second half was just the first half as well.
Smell that shit. Go back.
So them big old roaches, they're water birds.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
y'all doing?
Pretty cool.
David got notes?
Yeah, David got notes.
I gotta keep, man. I'm getting old to forget things. Right?
Popcorn. Here.
Oh, the horror.
Wow, this man got the horror
The
on
Super
his
Devil
list.
made me do it. It's phenomenal. I loved it.
I haven't heard enough of them. I don't know a lot of the Magic Ninja bands.
Well, the thing is, the only reason why I didn't put this in my top 10, that's how much I liked it, is that I just heard it. And I liked it, like, even when I do catch it, if it came out last year, I throw it in there. Because
they're
I
hit
heard
and miss
it,
for
I
me.
gave it a listen. I don't have to hear it during that time frame. But, yeah, I like the album a lot. It gave me, Oh the Horror gives me a Twisted vibe. I like Twisted. Big fan of Twisted. There's a lot of songs on there that are just surprisingly, like, just really, just, damn, that was cool. Wish that, like, so yeah, definitely check out Oh the Horror. Like I said, I need to check it out more. I actually need to give it a little more listen because I enjoyed it the first listen.
You should look up the one, Oh the Horror with Blaze Your Homie.
Yeah, I heard that one
Scooby
too.
Doo one. I love that's a good.
Blaze, you dead homie.
Blaze your dead homie.
So,
Solomon Grundy.
Orbit Culture.
Who?
Orbit Culture.
Never heard of it.
You probably wouldn't. They're heavy. Like, they're like deathcore, just brutal fucking heavy metal. Like, just the giant, the 8-string fucking chug.
Yeah.
Like, just doom. Like, I mean, it's fucking heavy. Right, it's fucking good. But yeah, I've listened to their last album, it was really good. And Orbit Culture just didn't disappoint at all. It was just a good fucking heavy metal fucking album. Now the thing is, like, a lot of real heavy stuff though, they do, they just kind of stay in the same lane.
Mm-hmm.
So and again, it's such a good album, but it's not going to be up there any higher than that. I know I showed you them. You thought so. Foxjaw, PHOX.
Foxjaw was rad. That was
Fucking-
pretty cool.
Not Very Nice Cream is their album. It's a cool album. It's chill. It's different too. No one I haven't heard a lot of stuff similar to it, so I can't really describe it. It's goofy at the same time. It's collected. It is just an interesting, fun kind of album at the same time. Like, there's a lot to it. But yeah, it's a very enjoyable album. Check it out. Like I said, it's Fox with a Phox, Jaw. Polka Dot Cadaver.
Oh,
Echoes Across the Hellscape.
man, that album rocks.
That album is great. It is all over the place and fun and just creative. That's the same dudes that do the other.
Yeah, Dog Fashion.
Yeah.
What was it? Tim something.
Yeah, they're like a different, like a newer age version of what's his name?
Mike Patton.
Mike Patton.
Dog Fashion definitely. Here's what.
Well, no, I'm saying like as a Mike
Yeah,
Patton
'cause
does so
Mike
much
Patton's got
different
so many different.
shit,
Yeah,
and then you have
yeah.
these guys that do the same kind
Yeah,
of deal,
yeah,
like a
yeah,
new age
yeah.
version of that.
Yeah.
Right? Even though Mike Patton's still making music, it's
Yeah,
just
because
like
Mike Patton will do like strictly metal stuff. Then he'll do weird shit. Then he'll like voice a couple video game characters.
right. And this is what those like.
Because you got Dog Fashion Disco, which gets heavily closer to the Mr. Bungle stuff. Then he also does El Creepo, which kind of does that, but countries it up a little bit, folks it up a little bit. Then you get Polka Dot Cadaver, which nowadays is mostly strictly metal, but originally that was supposed to be the Dog Fashion replacement band because Dog Fashion broke up. If you listen to the first Polka Dot Cadaver album, it sounds like a phenomenal ass Dog Fashion album. But then Dog Fashion Disco got back together after that, and the Polka Dot Cadaver stuff kind of just went straight metal.
But fantastic album. What he said.
I would have put it on my list, but I never got back around to listening to it again.
I think I fucking bled.
Yeah, I still got
I
to order
I
the
listened to it
fucking
a lot.
disc. I listened to it on their Bandcamp the day they had dropped the album, and then haven't gone back. I got to order the goddamn CD.
All right, so this last one and then my top 10.
Oh shit!
We're almost through the 50 fucking band. Wargasm. We talked about it in Josh's video. It's fantastic. I didn't listen to it enough though. Like I gave it a few listens, but I just didn't give it enough listen. So it didn't make it higher, but it was really good. I mean, it's a fantastic album, but didn't make it much. Like it's pretty close though. It's 11. So, all right. So top 10.
Top fucking 10.
Anybody
10.
All right. So number 10. Apache. Apache.
Ooh.
Apashe antagonist. So Apache is
Apache?
like Apache.
Apache, maybe?
Apache is the CH. It could be Apache, but it's
I don't know.
How do you pronounce it? But
I
anyway,
don't know words.
so Apache, we're gonna call it Apache. So Apache, he does like kind of like a new age style, like not I wouldn't say dubstep, right? Because it's not dubstep. It's like hip hop beat mixed in with like trap and dub, I guess, to it. And he has like he has a song with Busta Rhymes on it, so
Oh, wow.
he raps to that, to Apache's music. But the rest of the album though has like mostly instrumental, right? But it's really cool shit. And I listen to that album a lot because it's just something that's like it's cool to listen to, especially in your driving or something. You got some subwoofer or anything like that. It's fucking heavy.
Awesome.
Right. And like I said, it's not like a full rap album or anything. It's mostly instrumental. And it's like I said, it's like a dubstep mixed with like hip hop beats and new age stuff.
So just badass beat artist.
Pretty much. With good grooves and shit like that. Like I mean, it's music though. It's not like just a beat and then like some like how you would just listen to like a tape and then the guy raps over it or some shit. But it's just like it's actual music. So there's there's movement to everything on it. So it's a good album though. It's pretty chill.
I mean, so it's like a Skrillex album.
Sure. I guess. I guess the best way. It's good.
It's like a Bass Nectar album.
Yeah, in those kind of genres, yeah. I guess, yeah, that would work. But it's not dubstep.
Yeah.
It just has influences. Alright, number 9, A Partridge, Love in the Dark. So, me and Travis and Stas and Tanya went to a Partridge concert. Or what do they call those concerts? Or
I
they're
mean,
it's
it's a concert.
it's
It's
a concert.
show.
But it's our show. We'll say a show because it's just him and like a small crowd at this place up in Lagrange. But yeah, Abe is just a chill. Like he makes like this folk music, folk country music, but it's weird too as well. It's like. And
Yeah.
how would you
Dude's just a wordsmith, man.
Yeah, I mean, he was really good. Like at that, the songs that he came up with were like not your typical kind of songs. Some of them were. I mean, like the song "Love in the Dark." It's a beautiful song. But the album itself, he just released it. Or when did he release it?
It dropped like right at like a month or so after we all went and saw him.
So we went in April, so it dropped in May. And I listened to it for a while, for about a month. I mean, it's just a beautiful album. The man is really cool. We met him, talked to him for a minute. He used to be a preacher, and he was in the Navy, I think, one time, and some other stuff. But he's a good dude, trying to make his way through. And the album that he released is great. It was one of my favorites of the year. And actually, it was probably the start of me getting into like a lot of folk.
That's what I would say, because like you, before that, I couldn't tell you, hey man, check this guy out, because you'd be like, eh. But like after, that's why it surprised me so much when you sent me the guy, and I was like, what? I was like, this guy is fucking awesome, and we're going. All right, like it tripped me out.
Yeah, it was fucking. It was
Glad it kind of opened that door for you.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. He was good into that folk kind of styling, and like he was good. He put on a good show. It was fun.
Just him and a guitar, man.
And a banjo.
Yeah. He threw the banjo up.
Threw the
a few
banjo in
times.
there. It was a good little concert show. Number 8, Bear Ghost, Jiminy. I love that album. I listen to the shit out of it.
At first I thought you were saying that you take a roll with you.
Bear Ghost is just a fun, exciting band that, it gives you that circus kind of Vegas feel at the same time. Every song is upbeat and exciting to listen to. The instrumentation is fantastic. The singing is great. The movement of how the song works from like how one person hits in a guitar solo part or a bass, and it's just a great fucking album.
If you are a Danny Elfman fan, check out Bear Ghost.
Yeah, I mean how they write each song is, I would like to. It's interesting to think how they write it, because a lot of the songs is like kind of like some of the stuff just jumps around, right? But it's a good way. But I'm just kind of like, how do you think of that moment where somebody kicks in somewhere here and then they kind of just play around with each other, like going on the guitar to the drums and back to the singing, and I don't know. That's what that albums like that. That's what gets me excited about music and certain things. It's just there's so much good things to listen to about it, and I don't get bored ever. There's not a bad song on that album. So number 7, Baroness Stone.
Wow.
I love that album. I thought it was
Wow.
great. I thought it was much different, better. It was better than their last couple albums, but to me, I mean, something about that album.
I still gotta get it. I listened to it the day it came out and was like,
I liked it. I mean,
they don't hit me like they used to, man.
I think this one did though. Like this one made me think of their older stuff that was good to listen to, because it had different stuff in the songs. Not all the songs blended. Like a couple. There was one album where every song kind of just
I
blended.
think
in.
Purple.
Yeah.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Green and Yellow when it first came out, but nowadays I love Green and Yellow. But still, my favorites are Red and Blue.
And that's why I think it's more up there with the Red and Blue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed a lot of the songs on there. I
I
mean, I
mean,
enjoyed
that
all
last
of it.
one, was it Golden Gray? Golden Gray I liked, but have not had a desire to go back to it. Kind of like with Purple.
I liked Gray. But, yeah, it was one of my favorite, like, I listen to it a lot. I go back to it here and there, and I don't change it if it comes on randomly and stuff like that. So, it was just, to me, it was good. It was a good album. My Number 6 was another rapper, NF. I've mentioned him last year, or the year before last. He had an album come out before.
NF.
Yeah, his name's Nathan something. I can't remember his last name, but he released a new album called Hope. Now I like the album a lot. I like his album before better, but NF's one of those artists that I'll just listen to because I like his rap style. I like his beats and the music instrumentation that he puts into it. It's more, I mean, that's all like keyboard probably, but he puts like orchestrated stuff and like the build-ups and everything that he does with his rap, from the speed that he does for it and the precise, like he he reminds me like I hate to, everyone wants to compare to Eminem, but he has a similar feel to it. He doesn't rap like Eminem, right? Everyone is the GOAT, right? Like he's the guy for rapping that most people know, right? NF has that same atmosphere, I think, but he also doesn't curse in any of his songs. He feels like cursing kind of throws off things. So he's also someone that I was like,
Kind of like Jizza. Jizza says they're filler words.
yeah, but he does it really well. Like I said, there's a lot of orchestrated music to his songs that I like how he raps, which makes him sound a little bit heavier, harder, kind of when he raps. But I listen to it a lot. The album comes up all the time on my stuff. I'm always listening to it. I don't skip his songs. So he made the top, and I listen to those more. I listen to that song more, or that album more than the other ones, because of just what I'm into lately. There's a lot of rap music and stuff. So.
Sounds like she's yelling at the Alexa.
Alright, you want top 5? Or you need a break?
Top 5.
Alright. Bloody Chuckle Studios presents the Christmas Dumpster Fire.
What? Oh, shit.
I mean, I fucking burn the fuck out of that guy. Like, all Christmas. Even before Christmas, I like my own songs. Call me a fucking narcissist. I don't fucking care. I like my own shit. Alright, it's not great, but it's great to me.
This is our Christmas compilation album we dropped this past year.
I put a Halloween album number 5 last year.
Yeah, I think so. And
I love this album, man.
Yeah,
how can I not put it on the top?
It's a collaboration, a compilation between our entire crew. Songs from me, songs from David, songs from friends that you guys haven't seen on here. Josh is on a song. Heath and I collaborated on a track. David and I collaborated on a track. David's got solo tracks. I've got solo tracks. Just a big compilation of our entire crew and buddies.
It's all Chris's music.
Yeah, it's the sequel to the original first Bloody Chuckles Studios release.
Which somehow blew up.
Yeah, somehow right before Christmas, Crunkmas, our song Crunkmas, blew up on streaming, which is kind of cool. It's like, damn, I'm like, we got a lot of stuff that's better than this now.
It's so bad.
I mean, you got Joey on there. I'm Santa, coming on the roof.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. It's fucking awesome. I think that's the one you're on, right?
Yeah,
the one where
I did that one.
you're looking to find a little boy with the first name Timmy.
Oh, the start of my rap career.
Oh shit!
That song. That's what it was. But yeah, so I love the Christmas Dumpster Fire is such a good fun album. I'm gonna go back to it every Christmas now. Until we make another one. Then I'll go back to that one plus that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I haven't heard it. I haven't listened to it since after Christmas, but that's because I don't want to kill it for next year.
Yeah.
I think that now that we've created it and it's out there, we can bring it back at the time it's supposed to be written for, and the songs are about. And I think it's going to be my favorite Christmas album of all time. But until, like I said, we make another one.
Because even this year we're talking about doing a new Halloween one.
Right.
And I've got some ideas brewing in the bank.
Oh yeah, I got a couple now. So.
Already recorded one, me and Heath, with the Ditch Donkey shit. So, We will get there.
But yeah, so number 5. So number 4, Einar Solberg, which is the singer for Lepers.
Oh, okay.
All right, he's one of my favorite singers today. He has a beautiful voice. He hits the fucking soprano notes and shit.
You put that shit on your resume. These idiots.
Anyway, so but yeah, so he has just, to me he has a like real good, just a great voice. There's so many good songs on this album, though.
Damn. Kenzu and Layla, goddamn bitch.
So with the chair.
Yeah.
Cats are wrestling. But no, so there's so many good songs on this album. It's his first solo album. It sounds like Lepers though, as well. But it's just so good. Like, it's one of those things, like, you listen to it. To me, I mean, it's good, right? Because I'm a huge fan of the guy. But it's like every time I've listened to it, it's just like, damn, this is so like. It's just fantastic, and I hear something different on it all the time because a lot of the songs are long.
Yeah,
right?
those are the best albums to me.
And it's
You always
also
find something you missed.
right, and it's also because I love Lepers. I think that band's awesome. Like, they do a lot of different things that other prog bands can't do, or don't do with their stuff that they should. Like I said, he's a singer. Like, he also screams in his older stuff in Lepers and stuff, but I don't know if he on here. But there's also Isan, the new black metal guy that
Oh yeah, the new Isan album.
he's on
So
one of these
goddamn
songs.
good.
And that song, oh my god, that song's so good.
That was funny because like a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago when that new Isan album came out, I texted David. I was like, "Dude, you gotta check this out." It's like, it's technically symphonic black metal, but it's more like blackened progressive symphonic metal. And David was like, "Yeah, cool, man, I'll check it out." And then like a couple
Forgot
weeks
about it.
later, he's like,
forgot about
"Dude, check out Isan. He's on the new album from the Lepers dude." And I was like, "Bruh." Bruh.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot
And I
about
was
it.
like, but I can't get mad because this happens between us all the time. Dave will be like, "Dude, check out this band." And I'll be like, "Yeah, dude, I will." And then like later on, I'll be like, "Dude, David, man, have you heard so-and-so? I told you about that band 4 years ago."
Right? I'm not that dramatic, but so yeah, fantastic album. You should check it out. Everyone, go listen after the video. All right, so top 3. So there's another rapper named Ren.
MC Ren, or where? No, not there.
It's just Ren.
I'm sorry. MC Ren
It's a person.
is
I don't know.
NWA, right? Ren's the guitar player guy,
I
right?
don't know.
Who the fuck am I?
Yeah,
thinking?
yeah. Ren is the dude I sent you where he's talking to himself, rapping
Yeah,
to himself
yeah,
with the
yeah.
guitar and stuff. Yeah. So Ren released his album Sick Boy, right? I like Ren because he raps about shit like that's real. Like it's kind of like, it kind of reminds me of how like we like Amigo the Devil, but as a rapper.
No.
Right, because he does a lot of cool shit with his raps and words and lyrics, and he raps about some serious shit, suicide, loss of some things, the thought of murder, stuff like that, his mind fighting with himself psychologically. So Ren has a lot of, he's just a good rapper that just gives us a good subject to it. He thinks about his raps. They're not there to make him popular, they're there to make you think. They're there to make you question things, and it's kind of like, I got you, dude. And it's good musicianship on it. It was one of my favorite albums to listen to. Now the guitar one that you're talking about, I can't listen to it anymore because one, it's 8 minutes long, and
It
two,
is long.
it's fucking long. It's way too long, and I've overheard it, I think, and I'm pretty much.
It's
I
the
think
one
only-
that everybody sends, because, a dude at work sent me that before you had
Right.
sent it to me.
Because the dude's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like he plays.
Because I had forgotten
guitar,
about it.
he sings. albums. He
And
raps.
then you sent it to me, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a guy that my buddy showed me. This shit's cool. Next.
Right, and it's a long ass song. I can't listen to it anymore though, because I'm just like, I hear that doom 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 doom. I'm like, fuck, it's getting so long. I was like, I don't have the time for this. It's 8 minutes. It's a long fucking rap for a rap song. That's long. Like that's prog wrong. It's good the first couple times, but then it's kind of like, all right. Now, if it's short, like I like songs 4 or 5 minutes long because they kind of like, okay, you can go back to them. But 8 minutes, is just, that seems too much to me.
You got to devote some time to
Right.
certain things.
So, but yeah, he's number 3 because I listen to it a lot. Like even now, I mean, I'm still listening to it. I still listen to it a lot. I mean, it's not. I don't listen just to the album though. It's like it's on my playlist, or yeah. So it goes with other stuff. But I like most of this. I like pretty much all the songs on it. Really enjoyable. The man's fucking talented, and apparently he has like a sickness of some sort. I don't remember. My wife told me about it, but hopefully he lives long. You know, it's not like a deadly one, and he can move to another album because I like this one. All right, so top 2 and 1 could have been the same. Could have been Coke said, but we all know who it is. Avenged Sevenfold. I'll go with both of them. Avenged Sevenfold. I put as number 2, but it could easily be number 1. And Kim Dracula is number 1. Again, it could be easily just
Flip flop.
Flip flop. Those two, the best albums of the fucking entire year, to me, and Josh and Travis probably. But yeah, so the new Avenged Sevenfold. I love the stage. I like the way the direction they're going now. A lot of people are pissed off because they want Nightmare. I think is what more people want from Avenged Sevenfold now. And Nightmare's good, but I heard the stage and I was like, fuck, they can do this good at Prog and Prog? Like, they can do this good at fucking shit? Like, I knew they were talented. Like, the guitarists are fucking some of the best guitarists out there as well that have been in the game for going on like 25 years now or something.
They've been around.
Or 20 years, something like that. 20 years, I think. But they've been, so it's been a great band to follow. There are some disappointments to me. Travis likes Backcountry. I don't. Travis hates Hell of the King, so do I. So I don't really hate it. It's just
Hell
not
of the
good.
King is the only one I don't like.
Right, and a lot of people love that
Nightmare
album,
is, and after that, Nightmare is a little bit there too, but Nightmare is much better than Hell of the King.
right. But I mean, their newest one is just. I mean, Life is But a Dream is that. It is fucking just so good. I enjoy it, like, every time I listen to it, I'm just like, man, this is so cool. Like, some of the shit they do, the sound, how they, I don't know, it's a great fucking album. Josh is right about it. It is a fucking great album. Yeah. I mean, I don't have much to say about it because it was so good. Go see, if you haven't heard it yet, and you're a Avenged fan, what the hell's wrong with you? Or a metal fan at that. It is well worth everyone's time. Alright, and then Kim Dracula, it's Kim Dracula. We went through an entire video explaining why the album is fucking number 1. Before we even did this. So, yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic fucking album, all over the place. The dude does a great job of keeping you on your toes and always going, what the fuck just happened? But yeah, that's my top list. I'm glad if you watched the whole thing, thanks. I hope it was interesting enough.
That is David's top albums of the year.
Of the year 2023!
2023! And we'll be back with my list. I gotta pee and I need a few cigarettes. So we'll see you guys in a minute. Talk in the comments. Did you like David's picks? Did you hate them? What would you rate them?